Every day, 7 to 10 Eastern. So I was saying there's three food groups for all the NBA teams in free agency. There's the delusional, there's the contenders, and then there's the irrelevance. You know, Phoenix can get somebody, the Pacers, but I don't think they're a title team. There's the contenders. Boston may or may not land one. They'll be fine without it. Clippers will be fine without one. They'd be better with one. And then there's the delusional group, and I think people buy into the Lakers. Knicks are delusional. Knicks don't understand how they're perceived. The Lakers screwed up the cap, so they have not enough money to really land Kawhi, but they think they're going to get him. But the Rockets are interesting to me. I think they're more dysfunctional because I think we all like their general manager. We like Daryl Morey. He's smart and he's funny and he does media. I see a lot of dysfunction here.
Yeah, I hear you. Look, the Rockets are at the top of that delusional list. You know, they're bananas, okay? And Daryl Morey is a good GM.
Yeah.
But he's overrated. This notion that he might be the best GM in the NBA or in sports, no, he's not. He chases big names regardless of chemistry, regardless of fit, regardless of, you know, all that's the human element. Dwight Howard, Chris Paul, Carmelo Anthony, now Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler does not fit with the Rockets.
He doesn't.
Now, the only way I even remotely like it is if Chris Paul's the one that gets traded for him, which I don't think would happen. But then he could step into that Chris Paul role, and it might work. He's probably better at this point.
He likes the ball in his hands.
Right. And so if you keep Chris Paul and Mike D'Antoni's the coach, there's no way it's working. He's not a spot-up shooter.
I know.
And D'Antoni's not. I think he should tweak the offense, but if you had a traditional coach that was going to come in and put Chris Paul at the 1, James Harden at the 2, and Jimmy Butler at the 3, then it might have a chance of working. But if it's going to be all James Harden all the time, creating everything, and everybody playing off him, Jimmy Butler will not fit, and he won't be Jimmy Butler. He's a very good player, but he won't be as good as he can be in that current Rocket system.
Ask yourself this. Jimmy Butler needs the ball to be effective. He won't get it much in Houston. Jimmy Butler demands his teammates play defense. How's that? Look.
Well, to that point, Jimmy Butler and Chris Paul in the same locker room, both of them strong-willed, both of them speak their minds. It could be World War III in that locker room.
I agree.
I mean, this makes no sense whatsoever. Now, if I'm Philadelphia and I could get Eric Gordon, P.J. Tucker, I don't want Clint Capella, and I tell you, Houston, go get a third team involved where we can get a starting level point guard.
Yeah,
Philly doesn't have to be great. Then I'm interested in that deal.
You know, I was just saying this about Kevin Durant. There is this sort of, I don't necessarily buy into this narrative. I do think there's value to go to college, even if you don't get paid. I think it was for me, emotional growth, physical growth. I was a better person going to college and making a bunch of mistakes. I think college coaches matter. I think Kyle Kuzma benefited from 3 years of college, and Lonzo and Brandon Ingram could have used another year of college emotionally and physically. So I don't believe you have to pay basketball players to help basketball players. I think eventually Duke's brand made Zion money at Nike. Right. He not blown that shoe up at a G League game and get him that money from Nike. So when I look at Kevin Durant, all these players fight to have the billionaires pay him the most possible. Kawhi is going to leave another $50 million on the table to leave. Kevin Durant can be paid $220 in San Francisco or $160 in New York. Just from a monetary situation, I have always been on the player's side. Take every penny you can. Kevin Durant going to the Knicks. Chris, I feel it's a bad business move. I think he's seeking validation from others. I don't get it. Do you think it's Knicks or Nets today? Either way.
I do. That's how I feel right now. It's Knicks or Nets.
And that's it. And do you like this?
I like Kevin Durant going to New York with someone else, whether it's Kyrie Irving or Kemba Walker. Now, Kyrie, we know, is trying to get Kevin Durant to go to Brooklyn with him. There are those around the league that feel like, why would, like, this will look like Kevin following Kyrie.
Right.
And we know part of him leaving Golden State, part of it is to get rid of that narrative that you just went to a front runner, you were a follower, and you couldn't lead your own team. If he goes to Brooklyn, there are some, I'm not saying everyone, but there are some that would look at this as a similar, you're not going to a great team like that, but you're following another guy that's not as good as you. If he goes to New York with Kyrie, nobody looks at it as you followed Kyrie. They kind of look at you going together, but you're obviously the better player. Now, there are also those, and one person who told me this was a former teammate of Kyrie's, who say that even though Kyrie's better than Kemba, the Knicks would be better off with Kevin Durant and Kemba Walker.
Oh, I totally agree.
Right? And it wouldn't be as sexy. It wouldn't be, blow the back pages away like Kyrie would, but it might be better off basketball-wise for the Knicks for a few reasons. One being that Kemba, whoever goes to New York, if KD goes there, they're going to struggle next year because he's not going to be there. If it's Kyrie, the expectations are higher. He's a bigger name. And I think he responds differently to the negative press that you're going to get next year in New York if you play without Kevin Durant and lose. Whereas Kemba, if he's there, expectations aren't as high. He's been with a losing team for a while now, Charlotte. He'll know how to handle it. And I think he'd handle it better with the media. So if they get KD and Kemba, I think that can happen. But I would put New York right now as the slight front runner for Kevin Durant. But I think Brooklyn is right there as well.
Man, if I'm an NBA player and I'm watching these guys give up 40, 50, 60 million, it breaks my heart. I think these rich guys who own all these sports teams in America never give up a penny.
Well, a lot of these players, remember Kevin Durant, what's he getting with his shoe deal? Close to $300 million. They're getting so much money elsewhere, not to mention the other business pursuits they have where they're making money.
But all the owners of all these professional sports teams in America, the sports teams like their 13th business, they're not giving up $60 million.
But do you think, look, if he's happy in Golden State, then by all means stay and get the money. But if you're not happy there, you would say just stay in Golden State strictly for the money, or Kawhi, stay in Toronto if you're not happy strictly for the money?
Here's what I would tell you.
Because you're mega rich wherever you go.
Okay. What I would tell you is if you're not happy in Golden State with that environment, that's a little on you. This ain't Charlotte.
Is some of that apparently.
This isn't Phoenix.
I get it. But there's the narrative that's out there, which I think has been dispelled to a large degree, that they don't need him and things like that.
And they don't love him.
And if he's now there's the talk though, how forthcoming were they with him in terms of?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know the answer to that, so I'm not going to claim some medical staff doesn't know what they're doing. I'm not a doctor and I don't know, but I'll tell you, rich people get rich because they fight for every penny. I'm with you on taking all the money. However, if Kawhi, for instance, just doesn't want to live in Toronto and wants to be in Southern California, and he's gonna be filthy rich in either place, then I'm not gonna kill him for going to the Clippers or for less money. I don't get these guys. All right, Chris Broussard, stick around. We got some Lakers stuff I want to address. Plus, man, do I love Zion. Man, do I love.
hear.
Oh God, I love him. That's coming up. The Herd.